Hey everybody, Bill Owen from MNPC Tech. I've got the Mosquito here from the Mod Zoo and Mosquito Mods and Jacques again. And we're doing our Thursday live stream case overview. We're going to pull up the chat. Probably you can refresh it, Jacques, and it should come up. A lot of familiar faces. We love seeing you guys. Leave your feedback. So this is a not brand new case. This has been out. Hey Rob knows all about this case. The reason why we're featuring it is because we're not always going to feature brand new ones. We're going to feature interesting finds and deals out there on the web. And this case came out in 2012, the AzzA Genesis 9000 full tower. It's a massive Goliath full tower. And you can currently get it on newegg.com for $109 after $30 rebate, or on Amazon Prime at $139.99. And they have limited quantity. We predict that after this video gets out that these are going to sell out within a week. It's the MNPC Tech effect. The last AzzA tower I had, they sold out just from me doing a review on it and getting the word out. So yes, this tower's been around for a while. I feel it didn't get enough love just because AzzA is a small company. They don't have the massive money to put into marketing like other, like Corsair and some of the other companies. So a lot of people didn't even really know about this full tower, but in the enthusiast community, this was the full tower to get before the 900D came out the following year from Corsair. So Mas, do you like big cases once in a while?
I did back in the day, but then I started trying to see how small of a box I could put way too much hardware in.
You find that much more challenging?
Yeah, find it a lot more challenging to find the budget to fill this case, I think.
Yeah, I can agree with that. So there's some really interesting features that you don't even really see today as much. It has a reversible motherboard in it. You can actually pull out the motherboard and reverse it so it's upside down, which is very unique. Also, it has the option to put two power supplies in it or change your orientation of one power supply from the front or the back. In the very top of it, it's got two large 230 millimeter fans pre-installed from the factory. It actually has a lot of fans right from the factory. It has two 140s in the floor, and Mas is showing that intake vent along the bottom. It draws air in, up, and out through the top. And AzzA calls this their V-Air vertical airflow design to improve your maximum cooling performance. There is a 120 millimeter fan included in the back as an exhaust, and then two 120 millimeter fans included in the side panel. And there's an option if you get another 230 millimeter fan out there, you could add that on your own, and it's got your typical cheap filtered mesh screen.
This one doesn't fall out on its own like that other one we were trying to mess with the other day.
Yeah.
This one's bent. There's bent tabs that hold it in place. So
yeah,
yeah.
Hey Beepert, how you doing? So Rob was saying how it would have been nice if the Corsair 900D had these type of features, and I agree. How often do you see a slide-out motherboard tray anymore, right? Right, Jacques?
I haven't seen one in years.
Right, and you probably saw one more on a commercial level server, right?
Yeah, like either on a rack, or the only time I ever saw them really was on like anything that was a blade.
Yeah.
I remember one. It was a pain in the butt. Do you remember it?
Possibly.
It was on your channel.
It was on my channel. Was it a Leon Lee or something?
No.
Was it recently or a long time ago?
A couple years ago. It was when I still lived in
in fact, somebody I think mentioned that here.
It was an Origin Genesis.
Origin Genesis. It was it was an undertaking to remove, to dismantle it for...
Yeah, that one was a little more complicated to flip than this one.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
I do believe we spent a good half hour trying to figure out how to make that other one work.
I think it was much longer than that. Yeah,
and then it ended up
all
being
these tiny little different size screws.
Yep, and I remember we got it so far and it just would not come out anymore. And we're like, what's going on? We actually had to take out two of the PCI Express slot covers because they were hitting some other random piece, and it's like, okay, obviously that case was designed to be set up one way from the factory, and that was it, not so much swapped by
And I
end
believe
user.
that Origin wanted you, the customer, oh, you want to change it, send it back to us, and we'll take care of it for you, probably for a fee, I would imagine. Maybe not, depending if you drop $10,000 on your build. I don't know. I mean, it's very, very exclusive. They had the chassis made exclusively for them, but
It was probably more the case of, because I know you could have it configured whichever way when you ordered it. So I think it was probably just they had a bunch of them. It was the same exact chassis, all these same parts. They probably just had, one of them set up one way, another one set up another way, and then they just go pluck that one off the shelf.
yeah. And it was another example, like I said, Jacques, when you see a lot of overuse of screws holding things together, that's lazy engineering or like inexperienced engineering. Oh, we'll just fasten this together instead of like, well, why don't you create like a better stamp to stamp when you stamp these so you don't need so many screws to fasten things together,
Or time crunch. We need this done by today.
Right.
Well then.
I'll just add one more bracket, more screws. Yeah. So here it is. You've got this accordion playing motherboard tray. It's flexing back and forth. The brackets there, they are
Flex
plastic.
ATX.
They look metal from here. Probably on the video, it looks like metal, but no, those are actually plastic. So in your video cards in there you've got supports for them. It looks, I don't know, an accessory box if there's an additional one if you're going to do a tri-SLI triple crossfire configuration, but there's just 2 brackets. There may be more in the box. I don't know. I haven't opened the box. This literally just came an hour ago and we opened it up. Once this thing sells out, gang, it's retired. They're not making it anymore. So, but for $109 for a full tower.
If you need a full tower.
Yeah, and you need lots of space.
And it's interesting because it doesn't actually look that old either.
Well, 2012, and it has, as Moss pointed out, 2 USB 3.0 ports in it. So,
Right there. It's downright modern-ish. There's an awful lot of 5 1/4-inch bays.
now
for modern.
this the red trim on it does actually illuminate. There's Mullix connections for the front and the top panel. There is a white version of this case with blue illuminating accents on it. Moss, what is this funky little cover on the front here? What's that reveal?
Screwed on tightly.
There's Lofty. Lofty, isn't it like 2:30 a.m., something around that, or 3 a.m. in Bangladesh right now? Oh, also, Martin points out that the Be Quiet Dark Base 900 Pro, you can flip the motherboard tray into.
I didn't think I knew that one.
You know what? We have yet to see a Be Quiet in person.
That's true. Jesse has.
Jesse has, yep.
He
won
won
one, yeah. At CES he won it.
Yep. So yeah, you can have a front-mounted power supply in this thing, which that does not happen very often anymore.
I like that. That's cool. Options.
You have a nice long extension, so you don't have to try and run your power cable all the way to the front of the case. That's good, because that would suck.
Now, the Be Quiet 900 Pro, I imagine it's a much more hefty price tag than $109.
That would probably be a pretty safe.
Or even Whaler 99
Check that
showing up. He says the Silverstone Fortress. Oh, that's an interesting
you
design.
get a power supply filter
Oh, that's cool. Wouldn't even known that.
right there
200 to 250-ish, he says. Yeah.
for retail.
Yeah.
Or new original retail.
Yep. So when you're really pissed off about spending $100 more for that Radeon video card, you can save $100 getting this full tower instead of the Be Quiet 900 Pro Quiet Dark Base thing.
Rock thing. Yeah. I rock quiet dark bass thing. Why do people have to have such complicated names?
AzzA is notorious for that. I don't even know if I can read what the box said. I just remember it was a super, super long name for that last tower I had in here.
Well, that's like we had Tony from Silverstone on the Hangout on Sunday, and it was like, oh yeah, you know, if you remember the GW02, it's like,
What?
no.
No.
And then I look it up. Oh yeah, I remember that one. Okay.
I know.
Well, my favorite was the LC16M. It's like, oh, come on.
Where do they come up with these? Imagine if we named all of our cars like that.
Yeah, you'd end up
That's what my car's named. My car's a P90.
P90D. Yeah.
P90D?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Model S.
Model S. 109 on Newegg.com. Armando. Newegg.com. Go, because they only had, how many did they have left?
11
Like
of them
four?
before, yeah.
Well, no, Amazon had 4 left, and then Newegg had 18 in stock. So they're going to go get it now. And also,
Limited time offer.
if you guys get one of these and you do a build on it, be sure to share it with us on the Modzu in the community forums. It'd be cool.
There's a lot of thumb screws in this case. And I think we don't even have them all in yet.
Lufty says, long, complex names because of the impending apocalypse. I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. I think it is they're letting the engineers come up with the names versus the marketing people.
What are people going to remember? I don't know. But I know what I would call it. Sure, we'll go with that.
By the way, speaking of engineers and case companies, I found out this morning that Jonesbow, everybody, I'm sure you're familiar with Jonesbow. They were in the United States briefly, and then they disappeared, and they were on Newegg briefly and disappeared. But I heard that Jonesbow is pretty much one guy behind the company that does all the designs, the marketing, and sales.
Jeez.
Jonesbow, yeah.
Sounds like a busy guy.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Lofty, if it's a Korean brand, if you look at their website, though, it's all addresses in Taiwan. Everything's in Taiwan. So, I mean, it could be maybe the home base. This individual is in Korea, South Korea. Yeah, obviously South Korea. And it could be that their plant they're using in Taiwan, which most companies do. But yeah. So when I saw this, I've always wanted to do a build with it, but I gotta be honest with you. When Moss was flexing the motherboard tray around in that, I like a case that's just got that real just built like a tank, just because I'm gonna cut up some stuff and modify some stuff and change things, and I don't want it to start flexing under the weight of changes. And
that's the worst. You're like, oh, I have this awesome idea. I'm gonna just go ahead and cut this one part out, and then cut this part out, and then you get it, and then like the case, you just kind of set it back down, and it just goes, like, oh no.
Yeah. Especially if you're doing a liquid cool build, and you got a big 360 radiator, and you got the res, everything, and you got the water blocks. Like these Bits Power water blocks can be like 3.5 pounds a piece for the water block.
And then you go to pick it up like this, and then all of a sudden the whole thing just goes. You're like, no, it's not supposed to be that shape.
Oh my gosh. I don't even want to think of the horror. Yeah.
So for our hot swap bays there, because we have the 2 hot swap bays.
Just 2 of them.
What's that actually look on the inside for us to swap them out? Like if you go through the quick release through the front of it?
Will it plop out the front, or do you have to pull them out the back?
I've been down that road. This is a trap.
This is a trap.
We'll see if...
Wait, is this the same trap as last time?
Yes.
Maybe we should take the one above it.
This is a different one, actually. So you have a tray that comes out. You would mount your drive on that. It actually has holes drilled for 2.5 or 3.5 inch drives, and then back there you have your SATA power and data back plate, and that you can move. There's 4 screws that hold it in place, and then there looks like there's holes for anywhere up to the top 2. So looks like you can pretty much only have a drive cage or 5.5 inch or 5.25 inch drives up top, but otherwise you can move your 2 hot swap back plates. I'm guessing at one point they probably also had the option to buy more of them too, because I know a lot of other manufacturers that had similar things. Also, you could buy a kit, like, oh yeah, it comes, you can have 3 hot swaps, or you can buy another kit and then you can have all 6 of them or something. I think Fractal used to do that, actually.
Looking at this, it's a reflection of an era that's gone away, the full tower era of builds.
Yeah.
And Tony touched on that too, is that, they retired the TG07 after an 11-year run, and I asked him, are you guys going to do any more full towers? He said it's pretty unlikely. It's kind of just mid towers, and also this whole budget market of like $59 to $79.99 for just a good tower seems to be at a hot spot in the market. Jock, what is your thoughts on that?
I mean, for now, like our CPU power and GPU power is so insane that we don't have to go the multi-GPU build and potentially the multi-CPU build like we used to. And so that flexibility has just allowed us to compress down farther and farther and farther, which, I mean, I think both Moss and I were talking earlier when we were talking about that mini ITX is almost becoming a more preferred form factor and a more innovative form factor now than the full towers, just because who really has room these days, or who wants to make the room these days for a case this size versus something that's the size of my lunchbox. And that's totally a personal preference thing, because this is a case where when you open it up, you have the wiggle room to work on whatever it is you want to work in, and you can get that work done in a very short amount of time, versus a mini ITX build where everything is intricate, and if you're not exact, you're hosed.
Or if you're not in the mood to work on it,
Yep.
you just know that, I've got to remove this in order to access
Yep.
this, and everything's got to be like a tight puzzle. That's what I love about these, is that I can just, like a big cabinet, like an appliance, and stick my head in there. Okay, what's going on in here?
That's why on one of my mods, the front PCI, or not PCI, USB 3.0 ports don't actually work. But in order to get to the cable to replace it, I have to literally take everything out, so I can take out the cable shroud that goes around the motherboard out to get to the cable. I'm like, we'll just work on the non-working USB port thing later. For now, we'll just use the ones on the back. It's fine.
So it sounds like, like DIY liquid coolers are still the guys that are embracing these big towers because they just want to have massive radiators.
Yeah, probably.
I think also what you're telling me is that maybe we should do some micro ATX or ITX cases in future live streams.
Maybe. We've done a couple.
Yeah. Try to widen up the variety.
I like taking micro ATX cases, putting an ITX system, and a bunch of radiators in it. That's my idea of fun time.
Or what we could do is we could take like 3 mini ITX builds and put them inside of this one.
Man has ideas.
Yeah, he does.
We have multiple power supplies that we could hook up.
That's true.
For multiple machines.
Plenty of drive bays. So you could have 3 DVD drives, no, CD drives, CD burners per system.
So we can make this into a Blu-ray ripping machine.
Hey, there you go.
I will sell you any Blu-ray you want for $2.
Who watches Blu-rays anymore, though?
Ultra
boss does?
Ultra 4K Blu-rays.
Is he like, all these deals on Blu-rays, I can't help myself. He's just buying them all up. $4.99.
He pre-ordered some on Amazon the other day. It's like every time I get drunk, I pre-order Blu-rays.
I guess maybe down the road, Blu-rays will become like vinyl has become. The experience of opening up the packaging and looking at the sleeve art and putting it into the machine.
Like the laser disc.
Right.
Yeah. We should bring laser discs back and then figure out how to make that into a computer accessory. Like I have a laser disc drive in my computer case. This one would work for that.
I would support that. As long as it has a tempered glass front over the laser disc, so I can see it spinning.
Oh, all right.
That'd be fun.
What was the last good movie that came out on Laserdisc? Like, when did they officially end?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? It's the last good one I have.
Oh, you have a Laserdisc player. Was it like a Pioneer, or what is it?
I think it's like an Alpine, actually.
Oh, Alpine. Spendy Alpine.
So, yeah, I just remember it up at our cabin that we went to. Every summer the family would go up to the cabin, and there was the laser disc player, and literally watched about 5 movies on it. And I was just like, what's the point of this thing?
Yeah. Alpine, were you a big fan of the Alpine car stereos?
My older brother was.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my time. That was more my time when I was in middle school, and there was the famous, well, not famous, but they always used the Lamborghini Countach for the advertisements, and it was always green illuminated buttons on it and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that's very 80s.
Yeah, the whole 18-inch subwoofer.
Yeah.
I was just like, what? What is the point of this?
Yeah. People still do that in Minneapolis.
Or
if you have a shitty car, I guess you can...
My neighbors do that.
Yeah, they do that?
I feel them every time they come home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope neighbors are home. Huh?
It's a style thing with some people. Yeah. I don't feel the need to share the music I'm listening to with everybody. But anyways,
woo! Tangent.
Yep. Back to the AzzA 9000 Genesis, gang. Again, available on Newegg.com. Last we heard, there was 18 in stock. It's also available in white with blue trim. The user manual is very detailed. Well done on that. The case has been retired. It's not being made anymore, so if you get one, you're going to be one of the lucky few.
That's what we can start doing these. We can start calling these Bill's case retirement parties.
Could be. Yeah. Lufty asks, are there fans in the top? Yes, Lufty, there is 2 230 millimeter monster fans in the top, drawing air out.
And there's 4 little tiny thumb screws that hold the top panel in, as well as the normal clips. And I can't get there because we're attached. Goodbye, screws.
No, Jeffrey Miller asks if there's a PSU cover. No, this was before power supply shrouds were the thing.
Well,
this came out in 2012.
If you put your power supply in the front, it's kind of hidden.
Yeah, you have the option to mount a power supply in either the back or the front, or have 2 power supplies in it. The front one would be somewhat hidden in the drive bay, but no actual shroud, which we're used to seeing now on a lot of cases that are just coming out. Yep, big fans. I'm 48, Jeff. He says, I'm 50. This is all new tech. Well, Jeff, this is probably something that you would like. I like it. It's a big tower. We were just reminiscing about, the era of big towers and how it's changed now, and these are getting retired. This case is now selling for $109 on Newegg after the $30 rebate, or $139 on Amazon Prime. They're going to go fast. So, if you're thinking about a full tower, it's got fans out of the box, these 2 230s in the ceiling, 2 140s in the floor, 120 exhaust, 2 120s in the side panel with the option to add another 230 fan in the side panel. Moss is investigating something here. It's bugging him.
Well, it's interesting that they have this custom circuit board for running your fans and some LEDs. It's kind of hard to see, and I can't move it very far because it's attached. But so they already have a custom PCB.
Yes.
But then they decided to go ahead and take the time to have wires with resistors soldered in line.
For all the fans or just one fan?
No, just for the lights. The LEDs.
Oh, the lights. Oh, okay.
To step down your voltage enough so that you can not burn your LEDs out.
Sure.
But why not? Why would you already making the board?
Right. While you're making the board, yeah.
Just put 2 resistors on there.
I think we had opposing engineers with different ideas, and it happens sometimes.
It's like, oh man, why do we keep burning out the LEDs in these things? I don't know. Well, we got 6,000 of these boards. We better just put a resistor in line. Oh well.
So I will say though that the top is probably by far the most attractive part of this.
Yeah, I like it.
And it's nice that the shrouds on the bottom covering up those bottom fans.
Yes.
On the top of the fans.
Oh, yep. Yeah. Those included shrouds on the fans. Those are kind of cool, actually. You don't see those
It's a
very
good
often.
idea. Maybe
Yeah.
we need some, I don't know, billet aluminum?
Oh, we can mill that. I'm afraid it'd be a lot of money though.
Oh, man.
But then again, it's cool. I like the grill. I like those grills.
But I feel like with the amount of fans that's in here, the case actually only costs you $12.
It's probably pretty accurate.
To make?
Especially those 230 millimeter fans.
Oh, because there's 6 fans that are in here.
Yeah.
2 of them are
Seven.
Seven.
fans?
Yeah.
Alright, 7 fans that are in here, and 2 of them are such an abnormal size
Yeah.
that they're not cheap.
No.
Like, I would almost expect a cheap one of those to be $20 if I'm trying to just find one.
Yep.
I don't know.
So yeah, you figure that you have to be close to, even if you're going the cheap route, $60 in fans, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
And you got your back plates for your hot swap. Those are usually $5 to $10 a piece, and
Yeah, I mean, and if you want to do a liquid cool build, you got the real estate in there, you got the room. I love the idea of having the upside down motherboard orientation. Does it still continue with this stream? I got cut off by Corsair that is tapped into our live stream because I was promoting a Corsair build. Sorry about that, everybody.
just like the Google Hangout when we're pretty sure Leanne Lee found Tony from Silverstone and cut him off.
Yep. So it happens. Even though we've beefed up our connection, something. Well, what time is it? 5:30. So maybe it's high traffic. In any case, thanks everybody for tuning in again. We are doing these every Thursday around the same time. We're going to keep switching up the variety. If I find some interesting cases like this one, great deal on it, we'll share it. We've got other cases lined up that are new. So yeah, we'll keep switching up the variety here. So thanks for tuning in, and thanks everybody in the chat for joining us. We like seeing you each week. If you have any questions, post them in the comments for YouTube, and of course, the plea to like and share and all that social media stuff you got to do now, right?
Socialize and whatnot.
Socializing, yeah. Beg and and plead with people. All right.
Okay.
It's been a long day. It's been a long day. So that's it, gang. Lofty, thank you, and Martin, of course, and our regulars. Good seeing you in the live chat, and we'll see you again next week. And of course, on Sunday we're going to do the hangout. We do it 4 p.m. Central Time, and that's going to be a surprise episode as well.
For us too. We don't actually know yet.
Yeah, we don't know. All right, everybody, have a good night. Thanks for watching. Oh, don't forget to check out Mosquito's channel, Mosquito Mods, on YouTube. Subscribe if you're not already. And Jock, where can people find you?
Nowhere.
Nowhere. He likes it that way. Thanks, Whaler99. We'll see you online.